good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time it is for you where you are. Happy Wednesday! Welcome back to the beginning of Hazel's streaming week. We've got a couple subs to thank. Katie, should we sit for that? Should we try and sit? Let me see. And stabilize the cat. It's a fine art of getting in and out of the chair without upsetting the feline. Let's see. Hi, Miss Garrett. I would like to thank Bellamy66 for an 8-month resub. Thank you, Bellamy. Saga No with a 36-month resub. Happy 3 years, Saga. Holy moly. Whee! Tim with a 12-month resub. Happy 1 year, Tim. Margaret, 182 with a 7-month resub. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. And Kasaiko Nooks, thank you for the Kasaiko Nooks. I'm so sorry. Thank you for the 12-month resub. Happy 1 year. Yeehaw. 1 year, lads. Hi, Miss Kira. Happy Hallow's End. Oh! Hadn't even thought of that. Let's drink some coffee and pet Miss Kira and get our bearings, shall we? Not playing hardcore? Are all your characters dead? I mean, are any of us really alive? But no character deaths. I readjusted my chair, and I feel like I'm on an alien planet alternate dimension. Both of those things at the same time. It's so familiar and yet so not the same. Where am I gonna start? Let's log into Inksy. That's a good start. I haven't unmogged these gloves since I got them. 2 new achievements. Okay. Yeah, let's check the Wowhead guy. That's a good spot. That's a good spot to start. Wowhead. They must have a thing. They always have a thing. Gamerant interview. Oh yeah, I was gonna read that. Enchanted crest. Take more aspect crest to craft. Huh. Wow. Wow. There was like a patch date, right? New 12-month subscription offer leaked in the mobile store. Wow, I haven't looked at any of this. Hallow's End pack available in the store. I have those things. That's not what I'm looking for. Also, the Sky Terror is a bit of a stretch. BlizzCon merch. I want a Hallow's End guide. Wow, and Hallow's End guide. It's Hazel off-screen Googles things. Hallow's End, 18th through 1st. Last updated 2023, 10/17. That's yesterday, yeah. New to Hallow's End in 2023. Story time. Cyberwolf, thank you for the 49-month resub. 4 years? That's like 28 moose years. Isn't any planet in an alternate dimension by definition alien, so to speak? But by that definition, I'm an alien to anybody that's not Canadian. Well, not that definition, a similar one. The gear dropped from the Headless Horseman is now at level 389. Wow. Sorry. Snarky today, apparently. Hallow's End has a bit of a rework this year. New introductory quest line will be available. Culminates in a version with hard mode. You can check out our walkthrough here. 37 new candy buckets, 4 new achievements. The Ghastly Rider was from the trading post. During Hallow's End, it is instant. Okay, so we have that already, but it'll be instant during Hallow's End. Hallow's End armor will be available, likely as a purchase or drop. So they didn't know when they wrote this. Okay. Data mining turned up this lovely offhand. Is this obtainable? And if so, from where? Let us know if you find it. Trick-or-treating, yada, yada, yada. So far, not seeing anything to change my day plans over. Oh, does it not start? For some reason, I thought it was up yesterday. Hallow's End begins in an hour. You're correct. Okay, Wowhead's forgiven. I'm so sorry. It's not even started yet. I thought it was already up. Again, coffee. We need that. Let's click off this neural enhancer. Oh, should we open Vault? I have a Vault. I did a key. I like pugged a key with Flabby just to have a vault after I did the time walking because I was on and I figured it wouldn't take very long and I had my feet up on my desk and I'm pretty sure I was eating tea and toast, which is not really relevant to the story. Go Placidly, thank you for the 10-month resub. Appreciate it. I always forget the calendars in Pacific. Yeah, that's got to be confusing. Generating loot for... No, not Shadow. I think I loot spec Shadow because I wanted to see if I could make the time walking Aberrus box give me... And I wasn't even sure if it was loot spec dependent, but I wanted to see if I could make it give me a beacon. Do I still want to see if it... Yeah. Give me a Shadow loot spec. See if it can give me a beacon. Those are fun. EU started this morning. Oh. Oh, silk cuffs of the don't need them. I have so many bracers, but I guess it's unique item appearance. I don't want 2 of the things. It's too late in the season. That's fine. Sure, give me a unique item ID. I'll take it. Haha. So one thing I want to do is, for argument's sake. Well, first of all, do I have any game sound on? Yeah, I can kind of hear it. I think you guys can hear it more than me. Sound effects, that's probably why. We're all charged up in the earbud region. Did I sell anything? No. No, it didn't sell my cheddar. I sold some of the other cheeses that I had extra after the roll-in thing, but not those ones. So I suppose I'll just vendor them. All right, so we'll poke around Hallow's End in like an hour or so, whenever that's back up, or well, I guess back up is appropriate because it was up last year. Oh yeah, I still have a cast time on the Ghastly Rider for now. It'll be instant cast shortly, but not just yet. Let's go into Shadow. I want to look and see. I want to collect pets today, and the 3 that I have my particular eye on are the Ohuna hatchling from the hunt still, because I think that is only going to get harder as it gets harder to find people to do hunts with me. And then Aquapo and the Underlight Moth from the 2 Xerolic Caverns rares. I think those will also be harder over time, but those ones will circle back around to being easier sooner. Hunts are always going to be annoying to solo, because even if you can one-shot stuff, sometimes there's just like complete 25 things objectives, and if you're alone, that sucks. I'm gonna go down into the caverns because I just want to look at the... Oh, it's right here though. It's right here. Okay, well, I suppose if it's right here. Pre-made groups, custom starter group if anybody wants to do the hunt. Grand Hunt. Hazel Edition. War mode off. Valdrazus. Very fun. Yippee. And this is an alliance group as well. Because alliance is what my gnome is. I haven't even begun. I haven't even begun the hunt. Let's start and then find a way to game and also... I want to play the game and I also want to drink the coffee. This could be accomplished with a really... Oh! Oh! My first thought is those frogs are teabagging the poor dog. My first... No. Yeah, coffee. I have straws, just not like 5 feet long. Hi, Sokka. 7th Sokka. Hi! Thank you for coming. Hazel, what are you gonna be for Halloween? I have a weird little funny feeling that I'm gonna be a very lazy Murloc. What day of the week is Halloween on this year? It is on a Tuesday, so I guess technically I'm gonna be not here, but on the day before, the last day that I stream before Halloween, providing that I remember, it would be this Sunday, the 29th. I'll wear my Murloc onesie, and I will at one point say, blah, 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 and then that'll be the costume. I dress up more for Christmas. Arfus comes from Hallow's End dungeon. Seems very low drop rate. Also a thing in Wrath Classic. No idea. That's a good question. Did the dungeon like 18 times today with no luck. I wonder if it would be one of those things where you have a better chance from your first run of the day. Also, I need to save some more Bakar here. I wonder if it would be one of those things. Because if so, I could just make sure to do it daily. I mean, I have a lot of alts. I wish they would just clarify. Don't say that. I mean, it certainly anecdotally appeared to work that way for Brewfest, so they might be using that logic universally. I don't mind if they do or if they don't. I just wish I knew, right? Like, I just wish I could make my choices about what sort of farming or how much I'm gonna do based on not even a drop rate, but just them admitting the drop pattern. That would make me feel better. Because otherwise, I think what I'll probably do is just do it once per day regardless. Hope that that's the efficient thing to do, because if it's not, then, well, oops, oh well. It's certainly, that's how I got my Brewfest Dragon Saddle, and that's how I got my Love Rocket, so maybe I'll just hope that that's enough, and then if I don't get it, then I don't get it. But it's a pet. I wonder if it's cageable. I'm back on my pet collecting kick now, which means that I need it. It's required. Thing I'm most afraid of, I want to do it in one day with my 50 alts and be done. Yeah. Did they make the Headless Horseman stop saying, "Get over here, you idiot"? I'm not hearing it. Imagine. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not. But, or I don't know whether or not it's just like a, maybe he says it at another time. Or if they actually got rid of the voice line. But if they did, what if it's just because the Headless Horseman's really been working on himself and he's trying to use more positive language when talking with himself to try to improve his self-esteem and overall well-being? Hilarious. Oh, dear me. Listen, the Headless Horseman still likes to light buildings on fire, committed to arson, you know, probably murders people. I don't really remember the backstory, but he's really been working on himself lately, so we're happy for him. We love that for him. We're hunting creatures. Tyrannos, do those count? Yeah, they do. Tried it with 4 characters, they don't now. Oh. What if I just do the horseman when it comes up on my priest and I just get all the stuff? I open the box and it's like, here, Hazel, here's everything for you right away. You're welcome. And then I'll go, thank you. Thank you so much. Father, old Scarlet Monastery is also opened. Ooh. That's the best funny part. Why take it out? It wasn't that funny. I mean, like, I agree that it wasn't egregious, but I won't go to bat over it being really funny. I guess humor is very subjective and individual to different people. I'm going to... I don't know what I'm gonna do. Finding mobs to kill. He says some new stuff, but I also thought it was fun. Do you have the special streamer client that increases drop rates? It's actually the cosmos. It's the universe deciding to give me everything because I won the universe lottery. They already gave me the nicest cat and the cutest dog, who's also the nicest. And you know, they made me tall. It's pretty good. Whoa, towering fickle shells. That hurts. There's a key drop from the horseman loot or something. If you find it, why, please let us know. Thanks. Oh, does he not throw his head away anymore? Because that would also be part of it. This is possibly illegally cute. He's so... I mean, he's cute all the time, but I swear he's something else in the morning. When you first see him in the morning and you're like, is that my moosey? Is that the moose? I like pretend he's a celebrity. And he's like, oh my god! And then like I'll go sit down in his bed and he kind of like does this thing where normally for a moosey hug, when he wants to give you a hug, he'll kind of lean against your legs and he'll curl his body into like a U shape, and then I'll wrap my arms around him and I'll give him scritches, and then he like licks my chin and it's really cute. But like the extra level in the morning is I'll sit down in his bed with him and he'll kind of do that, but instead of just leaning against me, he like kind of falls onto his neck, which sounds scary. He kind of like falls down so that like the side of his head and his neck is like pressed into my lap, and then he like kind of flops over on my lap like a lap dog, despite the fact that he is growing. Although I hope he always wants to sit in my lap. I don't mind how big he gets. Easy to say now. And then his tail's thump 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 thump. And yeah. Oh, my baby. That's my boo-boo. Galzuda. You must be Galzuda. I have an appointment. Thank you. Is he 100 pounds? I don't know how many pounds he is. He's more. He could be. I mean, he's not. But I haven't weighed him, and he has gotten bigger, so it's a real Schrodinger's dog weight. Any day now. He was playing with a dog at the park that was another puppy that was 10 months old. And that puppy was like maybe similar size and frame, but not nearly the density. Like the thing is, Moose's frame is not super slender or anything. He's not like crazy barrel chested, but he's like a pretty built out dog. But he's so muscular. He's really strong. He's so muscular that like all of that muscle adds a lot of weight density to his frame. So if and when you pick him up, he is like it's like carrying a boulder. It's me, boy. My boy's so strong. My boy's so fluffy. My boy sheds so much. I think, why was I vacuuming again? It's just kind of dirty season, right? Like, it's muddy, it's rainy. We're all tracking mud in despite our best efforts with, like, towels and stuff. And taking off shoes at the door. There's still mud getting tracked in. There's mud that's on the dog. Dog's getting extra baths. And then he sheds more after the bath. And, like, the floor just gets obliterated really quickly. I think I've been vacuuming about every second day for the last week. And that's what it takes to keep it even somewhat reasonable. I'm not a clean freak. I'm not somebody with really high standards for how clean my floors are. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Ta-da! Any luck? Nope, not that time. Oops. Okay. Yeah, I'm not someone with super high standards, but holy moly. That's gross there. Sled pulling dog go. If you find he's shedding a lot now, bad news for spring. Yeah, and also when he just gets bigger and he has more body and more fur to shed. But that's okay. Like, I'm vacuuming anyways. I got a good one. I kind of like vacuuming, which is a blessing, I think. And I love his big fluffy coat. He's actually fairly short-haired for a Shepherd Malamute Husky mix. His coat's not super crazy long or anything. So it looks like Underlight Queen and Aquafawn are both up. So I think I'm just going to head to Underlight Queen first. If I can remember where I left her. Is she down there? She's down there. And then I'm going to list up a group if anybody would like to come and do. I'm going to do at least those two. Anything else? Invoke has a very low chance at a toy, evidently. Yeah, look at all these rares up. Not sure how the Roomba... Yeah, Kira, I think the Roomba would be really tough on the cat. She hates the vacuum, and she will... She doesn't even like the kitchen fan. She doesn't like static noise like that. That's just kind of like a flat level of fan sound. And she's blind, and I think that a Roomba would terrorize her. I also have lots of Ethernet cables that I've kind of routed being a strong word, along the floor in ways that I think would entangle a robot. Because I always say I'm going to do a better job in my next place, but short of buying a house and actually running them behind the walls, which sounds annoying if you ever want to replace the cable. Anyways, I'm listing a group. Starter group, we're going to say Underlight Queen. Underlight Queen. War mode off. Drops Pet. Very fun. Yippee. Let's, there's no, the text editing's a bit wonky in here. Drops Pet. Very fun. There we go. Just remember not to deadlift the dog. Fireman carry. Oh, I've been deadlifting the dog. I lift with my legs and not my back, if that makes any sense. How well are you able to lift moose at this point? I can still do it, but you have to be very mindful about how you're handling that weight, because it will it could be dangerous. He's also pretty nice in that if I am picking him up, he doesn't squirm. He kind of goes limp when you lift him. He's very docile about it, which is nice. Cadell, thank you for the 3-month resub. I think we're getting to the territory though where it's going to be a 2-person job to lift that dog. It's going to be a one person has the front end of the dog, the other person has the back end of the dog, and you can draw straws or whatever. And you go 3, 2, 1. 2 weeks later, whatever. Give us a small review of your new vacuum. So far, I'm enjoying it thoroughly. The real question is, 6 years from now, is it still in good shape? Because I liked my last vacuum for the first 6 years. It just ran into some issues that seemed to be potentially planned obsolescence related. A bunch of different things were kind of losing function on it at once, and no amount of home maintenance was really helping it. It also had a very small capacity. And I looked into it, and it sounds like that's not that unusual for the Dysons. Like, some of them will certainly last a very long time, but it's not crazy weird for them to tap out at 5 to 7 years. And I wanted to see if I could get something that will last longer than that, and I guess I'll find out in 2028, 2029. I got a Miele canister vacuum. And more excitingly, I finally... We might want like one more person for this. 539, 438. I mean, we could try it. She kind of sucks, but... Oh, we have another person once they get here. I finally cleaned... Oh, no, we're going. Woo! My office. I've been meaning to do this for weeks. And I've had that kind of task paralysis for weeks where I wanted to do it, but I was avoiding it because I do that. And because I knew it was next to my list, I wanted to do that before I did any other kind of like work in my desk because there was a huge mess that was like in my eye line while I was sitting at my desk. And I was like, listen, get that sorted out first, and then you can sit down and you can tackle whatever the next thing on the list is. And then I think because I knew that was like the cork in the bottle of like actually doing other things, I was like extra anxious about it and procrastinating on it. So I've been putting it off for weeks. Yesterday, I finally did it. I went through and I took everything out of both of my main storage receptacles in here. That bin behind me, that big gray rectangle, is actually a completely hollow bin that you can store stuff in. And then there's a closet in this room as well. So I went through, I took everything out of those things, I like reorganized, I decluttered a tiny bit, but mostly I just needed to kind of like tidy things up. I had a bunch of cables that needed to be wrapped. I have an astonishing amount of video cables. It's unreal. And I've let go of some over the years, but I don't think I'll ever buy another HDMI cable as long as I live. Or a DisplayPort cable, or a DisplayPort to HDMI, or a DisplayPort to micro HDMI, or a DisplayPort to mini HDMI, or an HDMI to mini HDMI, or oh my goodness, it's insane. But they wrap up small enough, and they just kind of store all wrapped in a bin, and it's one of those things where every now and then I do need a weird one. And it's nice being able to just get it out of there instead of having to Amazon another one, so. Anyways, I wrapped a lot of cables, I took everything out of the cupboards, I put it all reorganized and put it all back in, at least the things that I deemed necessary to keep. And now, my closet door is closed. I can retrieve or store my laundry drying rack without drama or crashing or giving up. My vacuum, my new vacuum, that used to just kind of sit out on the floor in front of me because I had nowhere else to put it, can now calmly, cleanly, and without drama fit into the closet, and then the doors can close with no issues. I'm a grown-up. Wait till they come out with an HDMI 2.0. Listen. I got nothing to say, I just like saying listen. Any luck? No luck on that. Thank you. Aquapo? Aquafun? Anybody? I'm gonna edit that to Aquafun. Done editing. If anybody would like to come, we're gonna do Aquafun is down this way. JG Britt, thank you for the 22-month resub. Happy subiversary, Hazel. I just narrowly escaped death in Redbridge Valley with 4 health and 0 mana. I had my camera facing the opposite way to my character, blinked into a full camp of ogres by accident. I thought that was the end. I can't believe you lived. That's incredible. Holy moly. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Also, Cadell had a 3-month resub. Very much appreciated. And Cork had a 34-month resub as well. Thank you so much, Cork. Whoa. Now that we have a patch date, how much more solo shuffle do you have to get? Oh yeah. Quite a bit. A non-zero amount. Should we do like an alter ego day where I just put on like a big tough looking hat? I don't have a tough looking hat. Or I put on a hat and I'm Hazel, the PvP streamer. And I just don't talk and I drink Red Bull and I keep solo shuffle. Does the streamer closet still have the overflowing bin of cables? That's behind me there. It doesn't overflow anymore. I have over time rehomed enough cables that I have not a reasonable amount, but like, you know, they wouldn't smother me to death if they fell on my head. Backwards cap, hood up, lights off, PvP. You have to rage when you lose. Well, that doesn't sound very fun. My floppy sun hat, my safari hat. Are you gaming or clubbing Mountain Dew? I mean, what's really the difference? It's all a party. Draw on a little mustache or a goatee. Any luck? Not that time. Thank you. We can also do Cobbrock if anybody's farming for a Skarn. Invoke for a toy chance. What's next? Let's edit. Invoke. Drops. Man, there it is. The text editor in this is awful. You can almost never see the little blinky line thing that shows you where you are. That must have a name. I'm sure that like word processing nerds know the names of that blinky thing. I would like to also be a word processing nerd and know the name of the blinky thing. The cursor? Is it just the cursor? Caret? Is it the caret? I'm Googling this. It is really horrible. Here. No, I'm fighting a rare. I'm fighting a rare. I'm gonna get this toy. Actually, that's probably untrue. Highly likely to be untrue. It's possible, though. I don't even... Oh, yeah, Molten Lava Pack. That's right. If I get Skarn again, I guess I could sell it and then try to use those funds to buy some of the other pets that won't drop. But it's nice just doing like a little lap of the ones that drop stuff. I'm sure I'm missing some. Anyone? Nope, not that time. Oh, this is nice and easy. Hello, Hazel, thy nutty, thy games. Amen. Computer repair class back in the early 2000s still on Windows NT and XP. Got the Scarlet Key on my mate just now. Ooh, very nice, very nice. That sounds like a Hallow's End thing. What does it do? What's it for? In most command line interfaces or text editors, the text cursor, also known as a caret, but spelled C-A-R-E-T, _ solid rectangle vertical line may be flashing or steady. So cursor and caret are both correct. Yeah, okay. I think caret was the word I was looking for, but like, not like a Bugs Bunny carrot, but kind of like a Bugs Bunny carrot. Where in your to-do list is making an optimized speed grid? Not present at this time. My to-do list is less organized and also existing than you're imagining. It's not so much like a document, and it's more like a vague cloud of task anxiety in my stomach and spleen. That's the one for Scarlet Monastery. Oh, enables the old Scarlet Monastery dungeons. I see, I see. You had a royal title, would it be your nuttiness? Your Majesty. Duh. What, just because I'm a hipster, everything has to be branded? Oh man. I think if somebody called me genuinely Your Majesty, I think I might die. It just sounds cooler than Your Highness. Your Highness has too much, you know, mocking people, mocking princesses to it. Any of these other rares drop anything cool? Question mark? Because I have a bunch of them up. Let me see. All the things, maybe. Where's Aquafawn? Colossian's got Transmog. Din has a drum. Go for the Disney villain angle and be your wickedness. What if I just did it for fun, but then it started to like subconsciously bleed, and then actually I became very, very wicked indeed. You can buy the key in the auctions, just found out. One at the bottom drops a cooking recipe. That's kind of cool, but I don't know if it's relevant to me. Off to work to recover from my harrowing ordeal. Have a lovely stream. Have a lovely day at work. Oh man. Hi. Hello, Boogie. How you doing? I'm glad I had a shard that had all these rares up at least. I've gone not far enough. I'm coming. I think I tried to solo Brolo once, and it didn't go well. Make sure he doesn't leave the ring or we can't leave. Okay. Would you read a book that was essentially a connection of anecdotes? I mean, people write like essays, collections of essays. Hey everyone. I don't know if it's my thing. I've always, even like anthologies, I haven't really read one since Chicken Soup, even though those are like short stories, just because I guess the gear switching is I'd rather get invested in like a longer thing that's more cohesive, but that's a purely me thing, and preferences are very varied and different. There's always an audience for everything. The internet has taught me anything, it's that there is an audience for anything. Okay. Give us the goods, please. Recipe, rocks on the rocks. We got a cooking recipe anyway. Cool, okay. Shall we do Din? For Din's drum. Because aside from that, I mean, there's also Karakta. Is Karakta up? Karakta's not up right now. Good day, Miss Nutty. That's the one I was talking about. Maybe I've been dismissive, and that's my key to profit. Assuming that he's up anyway. That's Skornak. Have you tried for the Evoco Lego? Oh, no. Not since I announced, whenever I announced that I was switching to Priest, that was genuinely my last week. I didn't get it that week, and I decided there and then that I was done. I think that getting it to drop now would be a confusing and unpleasant experience with no upsides and only downsides. Guilty still hasn't got it, been going every week. Even if you did get it, you wouldn't and shouldn't tell us. Yeah, it would be a really weird... The only way I could ever see getting it is if somebody called in like a huge favor because they really, for some reason, needed a slightly rusty Preservation Evoker to heal their heroic start kill. And it had to be me, and I was also available, and I got the message in time. And I went and just like helped, and it dropped. That's probably the only situation in which that would ever happen. But, not a huge odds. Thanks, guys. Let's get back topside. That was great. Oh, hang on, let me help with that one. In that situation, pile on. I was thinking bricks. That's fair and reasonable. Did they ever do Lego collaborations with Warcraft? There are Lego Halo sets. Maybe WoW Lego things is coming. They did. Oh, you know what they did is they did something like it, but I think it was off-brand Lego. It was like a different brand. They did Connects or something. Or maybe not that specifically, but they did something else. I remember... Well, I don't remember much. I have a vague recollection of something that sounds kind of sort of a little bit like that. Oh no, give me those back. I need those. Those are my refreshing healing potions. Okie dokie. Don't need that. Don't need that. Oh, I'm an enchanter, am I? Am I not? I should be DEing these extra blues. Maybe? Is it worth it? Shift 0. Wonder why it won't work. Yeah, well. Let's luck over. Mega blocks. They did mega blocks. Yeah. Lego did some Overwatch stuff though. Okay. Can still buy them, huh? Alright. I think I'm just gonna repeat that same loop again. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start by looking for the hunt and do a hunt group. And then I'll check rare spawns. It's probably harder because I think those spawns were all on my own server. I guess I could luck into a different shard that has them up, but otherwise I might be looking for listings. I specifically, the two that I really want are Underlight Queen and Aquafawn. The other ones were just kind of like for toys. Brillo apparently drops a pet, but I don't, my all the things doesn't show me that I need it. Let me see what Brillo's pet is. Brillo the Strong pet. Brill from Brillo the Strong. Do I have him? I do. I have that pet. It must have either dropped or I bought it or something. So I don't actually need that one for myself. I just need Aquafawn and the Underlight Queen. Learn from another item. Learn from this item. Okay. Inksy has an interesting staff. Where does it drop from? Let me take a look. The transmog is from the Trader's Post. That was part of the Priest weapons pack that was on the Trader's Post. Is that one right there. It's probably a recolor of something that was available in the game, though. I feel like most of them were. Or at least they were inspired by something. Have them all up if you want, both up online. Okay, yeah, I'll head down. I'll head down if you want to list up. If you are Alliance in North America. Were you just in the group that we just did? They also had some StarCraft Battlecruiser. I'm still 2008 to me. I'm listening to the Killers and Wrath is out. Yeah, okay, okay. I will look for a group. Find a group. At least it doesn't wiggle as much as your last priest staff. Rares for Hazel. Aw. Aw, thanks. Rares for Hazel and anybody else that wants to come. It takes me more attention than I feel like it should just to fly through here. Queen and Aquafawn. Hello, Hazel. Amazing streamer. Oh, thanks, Prince Adam. Get turned around so many times in that tunnel. I have, on stream before, done that exact thing of, like, you're flying and you're flying and you're flying, and then you come out in the unarmed planes and you're like, oops. That's not what I meant to do. Gave up, started taking the flight path. I wonder if I do more damage on my Evoker. I must, right? She's got much more item level. She's like 14 item levels up. But I also don't... Well, I'm not really a Shadow Priest expert either. Oh man, coffee's like extra good today. It's cold and it's still good. It's like a nice coffee. Upcoming news or drops. Weren't they? I'm out of the loop. I'm super out of the loop. I haven't looked at WoW stuff in a couple days. I think they dropped a couple pieces of news. We got a patch date. There was something about a promotion coming out this week, maybe on Thursday. Maybe they might announce the next drop or the next like Prime reward. I think 3's enough. It would help if I was a better devastation if Alright. It's occurring to me that maybe maybe tanks are necessary. Yeah. Getting closer to another 12-month renewal thing. There was a Wowhead headline about how the mobile shop had leaked it. The 12-month renewal reward. I won't worry about it too much. That's one of those things that I'm already, I'm like on the 12-month recurring. Plus, I'm pretty sure I'm subbed to this game for years anyways. Taken increased by oh. Color sugar whipping cream for Bailey's. What are you making? It sounds decadent. I shared a cider last night. And it was kind of disappointing. I feel like it... My partner opened it and they said that it might have been bottled incorrectly because it was something funky with the cap. And it kind of tasted watery. It wasn't very good. It did make me really sleepy. We watched... I've decided that I want to watch like spooky-ish movies for October, but I'm still too afraid of horror movies to actually do them. So I'm settling for old sci-fi thrillers. And I have so far watched Alien... The original Alien, and then the original Predator was last night with Arnold. And I actually enjoyed both of them quite a bit, although I will say I was falling asleep through the end of Predator. That movie was really funny in the middle, and then kind of dried up towards the end because there weren't any more secrets, and it was just an awful lot of, like, guns. Told you. Good spooky season movie. Good thing to decide when the month is half over. Alien 2 is more action than horror. That's what my partner was telling me, is that the sequels for both of them, and then the Predator versus Alien ones, are a lot more action than spooky. And the thing that I really enjoy about the sci-fi thriller, especially with like the extraterrestrials, is I want the mystery of like, what is this thing? How does it work? What does it want? You know, who's incubating it in their chest cavity? Like, I want the secrets and the mystery, and the actual hand-to-hand combat or whatever is like not that interesting to me. I'm not a big action movie person. So whenever they have like really extended action sequences, it's, unless there's like one-liners from memes, I'm getting pretty bored. You could watch What We Do in the Shadows. The end of Predator is literally 0 guns though. Yeah, but it's like, you know, like weapons and fight. Like the guy had, I guess he did stop using his little shoulder gun. There was like one line of dialogue for the last like 25 minutes of that movie. And I don't remember exactly because of the bad cider, but I'm pretty sure it was mostly just Arnold saying, ow. Or no, you can't see me. I'm covered in mud. Like, it got kind of boring. Thanks. Appreciate it very much. Let's go back topside. I'm going to look for a hunt. Alien was obviously allied with the cat. I was waiting for the cat to be relevant. Like, I thought the cat was infected. I thought the cat was incubating something. I was Team Jones. I mean, I was still Team Jonesy, even though I thought it was working for the alien. I was kind of Team Alien. We kind of showed up to where they lived. And then all of a sudden we're like, wah, it's laying eggs in my face. You know, like, don't go poking eggs if you don't want them to be a parasite on you. I'm going... Where am I going? We're looking for a hunt. There it is. No, that's not the hunt. That's a different horn. That's a time rift. I mean, that's up at 12 minutes. That's worth doing, too. Let's just go in the zone and have a little look-see, shall we? I would debate you on this, but I'm not going to. But Predator is great, IMO. I think it was a good movie. It was just, it's just, you know, personal tastes and stuff. Different people enjoy different things about movies. Besties, guess who's 4-piece tier? I mean, congrats, Scarlett. Very famous movie. The first part is pure action, then it becomes horror. Very few movies do that kind of switch. I can now go away. You should watch the original The Thing. I don't trust your guys' recommendations because I feel like you're trying to get me with something that's scarier than what I'm prepared for. Cat scares people. People see cat. People are relieved. People drop guard. Alien kill. You've got a point. So there's the hunt, and it's actually already in progress, which is great. The Thing is as scary as Alien. You know what really made Alien my favorite? Was, I was very invested in Ripley. I was super into Sigourney Weaver's character. And I was really mad that no one was listening to her. And then they all got, like, eaten by aliens. And I'm like, well, that's satisfying. On a micro level, it's about workplace drama. And respect among colleagues. And what happens when you don't let someone do their job. This way. You want scary? Watch the news. Yeah, right? Oh. Came out in '78, one of the first female leads in sci-fi. The reason I'm a little nervous about watching any Alien sub-sequels is that at the end of Alien, I was really glad that Ripley got away. And I'm thinking, I want her to go home and, like, just kind of heal from her PTSD. I don't... And then I, like, looked at the descriptions of the next couple of movies, and they're like, they're sending her back out to fight more aliens. And I'm like, let the woman retire. Maybe she wants to, but, like, you know... Don't we ever get to just go back to the Shire and garden carrots? Let them live. She did enough. Malkij defeated. Now that I think about it, The Thing and Alien pretty similar. Shire in space, it's a figure of speech, you know? A game called Alien Isolation where he plays Ripley's daughter who goes to find her. Rewatch it? No, I never sent to that planet. Specifically. Has anyone seen that movie where Will Ferrell's a talking dog? And if so, is it any good at all? I watched the trailer for it and I thought I would kind of watch this, even though it looks awful. But I was just recently on stream talking about how I wish they still made movies with live action animals where they just like gave them people voices, and then they did exactly that. and I can't now say, wow, it looks awful. I've seen it and I loved it. Yeah, I think it was called Stray. I wanted to hear if any of you guys had actually seen it yourselves. You loved it? Better at Megabyte? Best parts were shown in the trailer. Okay. I don't want to hear from people who haven't seen it but think they that's not the kind of opinion I'm looking for. That's how I don't know. Oh, rich soil. Wing hunter nests. The development of Homeward Bound, sad and upsetting. Oh, I should never read about it then. I need Hazel to watch Blade Runner now. Would I like Blade Runner? I'm like weirdly picky with movies and that I have a hard time sitting through them if they're not really up my alley. My attention span kind of sucks. And I like weird things in movies. So my tastes are not like unique and super cool and like exclusive to me, but they're like a lot of movies that people universally really love were just kind of not my thing. For various reasons that are like kind of arbitrary, but it's just you know, you gotta like what you like. Blade Runner's my favorites. Don't watch it while sleepy. Twigbot 4K, thank you for the 15-month resub. Happy Wednesday, Hazel. Enjoying WoW play. Week treating you well. It is. It is. I played some more. I played some more Rogue. I played some more Undead Rogue on hardcore on my days off. It was wonderful. I had just finished cleaning my office and I had a bit of time before dinner and I was like, I'm gonna sit at my desk in my clean room. I'm gonna paint my nails because I didn't want to paint them before I cleaned out the closet because that's just a way to get your nail polish damaged. And I'm going to level Meowita because that's her name. Her name is Meowita. She's level 10 now. She just got dual wield. She has 2 swords and I have yet to hit anything with them, which is a real travesty. She's got to go start stabbing or slashing or, you know, who says you can't stab with a sword? Alt 6. You might enjoy Blade Runner. Can't speak for the new one. Don't think you would, but I like it and that's what matters. What color for nails? I painted them. I mean, I can show you, I suppose. A very neutral kind of nude tone that makes me feel very classy and sophisticated, which is funny because the rest of me is not like that. But you know, if you only saw my hands, you could think I worked at a spa. Only the classiest people work at spas. This is my impression from any time I've not gone in, but like walked by the front desk of a spa from like that had like the big glass windows from the street. I had a thought, but it's gone. All right, Grand Hunt spoils. Da-da-da! Yay! Woo! We did it! We got the Ohuna Companion. I am free from the hunts. That is the last thing I needed from Grand Hunts. And it is now okay if everybody else also stops doing them, at least in terms of me. Because I got the last pet I needed. Thank goodness. That one was a little worrisome. Shall we summon that? Oh, it's a pretty birdie. Pretty birdie. Need help choosing 2 specs for Mage and Rogue. Frost and Combat. Or, what do they call it? Outlaw. How are people doing Hallow's End already? EU. For North America, it's not up for another 6 minutes. Same bird model you get from the Nuku defensive mount. Yeah! Ohuna. 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 Jamaica. Do, 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 do. I listened to the Beach Boys song Kokomo a fairly unreasonable amount of times this year. I don't really know why. I like to sing it to Moose and then change all the lyrics to be about Moose, though. It's a great song. I like the part where he wants to make a steak. Okay, I've got the pet that I wanted. Now I'm lost in life. I have no further goals. I guess I'm still technically... Oh, you know what? Let's do the time rift. It's up in 5 minutes. And then we can check out Hallow's End, which is up shortly after that. Or at the same time, basically. I do still want to continue working on... If I can find spawns on either my shard or another shard of the Underlight Queen and Aquafawn for Aquapo. That would be nice. But... So I have a Destiny up and I have another Destiny in my bag. So we're going to get something. Do I have any humanoid battle pets that need training? I'm just cleaning out my bags a little bit. Filters. Pet families. Humanoid. Level. Not 25. Oh, Usurgle. Usurgle, you want some stones? You can have 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. That gets her to level 13. What else? Some mana pots I probably got from like a treasure. Get rid of those. I've been trying to keep my bags cleaner just because it feels nice. It's like, treat it as its own game, you know? It's like a, you ever play like one of those mini games? Like, Well, my first thought was the mail sorting game from Wind Waker, but that wasn't really the same at all. Anyways, mini games that are basically just take these things and organize them to their correct categories. That's what I want to do. Treat it as fun in its own right. It's not a chore. I'm having a wonderful time. I'm selling... Oh, I'll vendor the meat. And then, you know what? Let's get rid of these two. I've got Kokomo stuck in my head now. I can't start singing it. They're going to come for me. The Beach Boys are going to come to my house personally and be like, Hazel, you don't have the copyright for that. You're not allowed at the beach anymore. Nobody wants those, eh? What are we saying? Rousing order, rousing frost, rousing fire. Got some herbs that I picked. Sure, yeah, we can just clear all this out. Just to get it out of here. Send it. Oh, Sure. Cool. Look at how clean those bags are. What's that? Ash feather. We don't need that anymore. We finished the Wishwing Phoenix. That's all sorted and done. Oh, look, there's herbies. Like the mail game in Legion Dollar. Does Auctioneer have an undercut option like Auctioneer? It will automatically set price to match the lowest price. There may be a setting that lets you undercut if you would prefer to do that. You have a lot of herbalism seedlings. Yeah, they're really, really cheap and you can buy them on the auction house. So I figured I would just grab a full stack because they stack up to 1,000 or 999 or whatever. So I figured I would just carry around like one stack of them so that I would always have seedlings. Let's do the Time Rift. Again. I like the Kermit the Frog version of Kokomo. Have I heard that? Kermit was in danger recently. My brother-in-law has a Kermit figure plushie situation, and Moose was over at their house. We were visiting, and Moose is kind of like going around picking things up, being like, "Is this for me? Is this for me?" And some of the things were dog toys, and then some of the things were not dog toys. So I had to rescue Kermit because Moose and we didn't really think he would grab it because it was quite a large Kermit. But Moose is kind of looking at Kermit and I'm like, uh-oh. And then Moose is like, yep, that's mine. And then I had to get him to unhand Kermit and then hide Kermit away in a drawer. He needed to go into Kermit protection. He was not about to be okay. Hands up to everyone who found Kermit and Miss Piggy the BFA. It's Rocky Horror Picture Show season. I saw that for the first time 2 years ago. I made it through the first like 29 years of my life without seeing it, and I don't know how. But I saw it in 2021, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was great. Okay. Let's do our best, huh? That'll be fun. I never do my best in Time Rifts anymore. Let's do our best. Rotted Gladiator, you betcha. I have a weekly and everything. Get some extra rep. I'm starting to think that maybe I hadn't had my chair adjusted correctly for the last however many years I've had this chair. I don't know why, like so after I'd cleaned my office, I'd like moved everything around and I'd vacuumed everything and inside things and under things and behind things. I had displaced several silverfish and a spider. And I finally get it all put back together and I go to sit in my chair and I'm like, whoa, this tilt tension is messed up. This is all wrong. And I try to adjust the tilt tension, but I realize I'm doing it with the wrong knob, so I've taken a different knob and I've completely upset it. So I have to look up the diagram for exactly how you adjust this thing. Defeat Azurite excavators. Oh, I've gotten distracted. I look up the adjustment diagram and I'm like actually like reading what they do and then fiddling with them. And at first it felt very strange and different and not better, I think, because I just wasn't used to it. But now I don't feel the need to fidget as much or to like shift or, I don't know, I'm kind of just like, I don't know, my back feels supported. It's weird. I think I was supposed to be like this the whole time. I remember trying to adjust it when I first got it. Maybe I just didn't know what I wanted. Didn't know what my back wanted. My partner is in the remake of Rocky Horror as a backup dancer. Oh. You see it with a theater crowd. Myself or someone from chat? I saw it, power down the alpha pylon, in my last Oregon residence, sitting on the floor on a mattress on a TV that was also on the floor. I didn't have a wild amount of furniture at the time. I got one of those folding mattresses. And it did its best. It would be a perfectly great thing to take camping or whatever. But, yeah, those were not good months for my back. Hallow's End is active. It's kind of fun that way. Oh, people throwing stuff at the screen, acting it out. It sounds fun. The only time I really heard of that was, there's some movie with, what is it, Emma Watson? There's some, like, indie film with Emma Watson where there's a plot point where they do Rocky Horror Picture Show enacting. And I liked that movie. Not relevant. The name escapes me, but it was, like, a really popular one. Used to work for one such company, had my office chair adjusted many times by the sales team. Did they ask first, or did they just come along and be like, I know how your chair should be? Foolish coworker to adjust for yourself. Perhaps I'm being unfair to the salespeople. Oh, I should overload this note. Perks of Being a Wallflower. That's the movie. That's exactly the one. Defeat as many Vargle as possible. How many Vargle can I pull without regretting it? Furniture was effectively the company's showroom. Sales would come over, ask if their client could try my chair. Oh! Oh my. I guess that you wouldn't know until you live that life, but my first instinct is I would hate that. Having clients just walking around the office while people are trying to work. Oh. I mean, to be fair, I worked on a sales floor, which was the same thing, but it was like expected that that was a sales floor. It wasn't like anybody was sitting there like writing up strategy plans or anything. Balancing the books, so to speak. There was a back office for that. Report to Sword Army. I've, like, been here, though. What do you mean? Oh, you know what? I left and I phased. I left because I was lured by an herb, and I phased to a different version of the Time Rift. Oh, man. Greed. Flamethrower is destroyed. How? It's a flamethrower. What am I supposed to do? Spit on it? Walk on it. Oh. Strange. Oh, dear. That's okay. As long as we can kill a boss at the end of this, it's fine. Oh yeah, you just walk on them. Famously, how you destroy fire-spewing devices is just insert your body into the business end and you'll be fine. Why is the last one so high up? I don't trust that. I'm not going that far up. I don't think so. I am convinced you would get a lot more done without gathering professions. I think that's a reasonable assessment. Would I have more fun, though, is a harder thing to quantify. I do enjoy finding my herbs. Defeat as many Azurite excavators as possible. Okay. Have you ever gotten a time rift instance that was empty? I had to solo one once. I don't think so, although I don't see a wild amount of people running around here. Okay, I don't see anybody running around here. Oh no, there's somebody. There's a person. But yeah, not ever done completely solo. Not since I tried to do it solo once in PTR, and I found that the end boss was nearly unplayable. But they've changed it since then. They did some hot fixing on it. This weekend marked an important, not milestone, but fall-winter ritual, which is the first time that you turn on the baseboard heaters. I did it. Not for me, but for my cat. Poor baby, it was so cold that she burrowed herself underneath my knit blanket. Somehow, I don't know how, she got herself completely like wrapped up in the middle of it. And I was like looking for her, like, Kira, where are you? Where is my cat? My cat is gone. And then I realized that the lumped up blanket on the back of the bed, despite the fact that nobody had tucked her in, had a cat wrapped within it who was just like napping. And then I touched the blanket and she went, meow, and I was like, oh, my apologies. But she only does that if she's like properly cold. So I decided that enough was enough and that her room's going to get the heat turned on if it gets too chilly because she's just a little baby girl. You know, she's not that big, and I don't want her to be cold. Defeat all time rift enemies. Oh yeah, noise cancelling does sound like a really useful idea. We get a box? Yeah, we got a green box. How many flakies do I have? I have 1980. I need one more pet from Time Rift, which is Nerubi. And then also boffins. I have 2 more things to get for boffins, both of them being outdoor things. That I haven't spotted just yet. And then I guess I also want all the transmog, but I'm trying to focus on pet collecting and see if I can get as many Dragonflight pets as I possibly can. It would be nice to get completely caught up on them before the next patch, but I don't know how viable that is. The next patch is coming out in a pretty reasonable amount of time. Still refuse to turn on the heating. Sitting with a blanket in front of the computer, wonder if I should invest in one of those wearable blankets. Yeah, I will layer up pretty effectively. I just have so many. I love warm clothing. I have maybe too much of an enjoyment for it. This idea that if I only have the perfect layers and warm clothing to wear, that I will be comfortable and never cold again. But because of that, I can pretty effectively layer to deal even when it's quite chilly inside. Although if you start wearing the outdoor hats just to like sit on your couch, then you may have done too much. Good. I've never had one of those, mostly because they seem to be solving problems that I don't have. I've never, like, I will wrap myself up in a blanket on the couch or whatever, and never have I been like, oh no, I cannot access my beverages or anything else because my arms are trapped within this confounding device. I've never been that, like, overwhelmed by a blanket that I needed it to have sleeves. And there's also just, like, regular hoodies. It seemed like a bit of clever marketing to me. I'm sure they're comfy, but I didn't know if it was necessary compared to all of the other things that I had, so I never did it. I have the comfy that I bought from Costco. Amazing in the wintertime. No snugging. Not for me. Not for me. Although if I got one as a gift, I wouldn't like get rid of it or anything. I got a Frostspire staff appearance, which we like. Happy with that. One more two-handed cosmetic off the list. Let's go turn these in. Hubby window and bedroom open at night. Have my Minky blanket on the bed to be warm. My tech really leveled up when I discovered that the key for me to being warm was not necessarily to have the biggest sweaters and blankets, but to layer something that is big enough and something that is sealed enough, something that kind of like scrunches in a little bit at the openings. And then combine that with a base layer that fits somewhat close to the body without being uncomfortable. Because sometimes I used to, when I was younger, I would just be like, big sweater, make warm. And I would just like throw on the biggest, comfiest looking things, but they would be so loose and floppy that you would lose your heat bubble. All of your warm air would escape out the bottom and out the neck and out the wrists. And you would just have like a fluctuating, it wasn't very stable temperature wise. So those are good layers, but I've found that that the right fit and the right texture as well. What you're trying to do is you're trying to trap air bubbles. You're trying to insulate effectively. You're trying to trap warm air bubbles near your skin. So the cheap and easy way to do that is with waffle knit base layers, even like long underwear basically. You can get them in legging and long sleeve shirt form. I have both, and if it's really cold, I'll just wear those underneath my sweats, and I am like I am bingo bongo good. Do you think that's a phrase we can get to catch on? Yeah. I want to check on my flakes. Open this. So I have 2 destinies. We'll throw one up. We'll use those flakes. We'll gain that rep. Flake-wise, sitting on 3,140. Rep-wise, halfway through. I'm going to get that last pet just to have it, so that I'm only looking for mounts and transmog. And that way, if I get a mount to drop, it'll still be exciting. But I want to have the pet collection all finished, so I need to search out you. I need this one. Narubi, the Nerubian. You get it? Minute Menagerie. Oh, I didn't know there was an achievement. Neat. Cool. Okay. You go home. I am going to log back onto my priest. And I shall investigate this Hallow's End business. Invested in a heat pump boiler for water, solar panels and a pellet heater. Cheaper than gas. Nice. Love waffle knit. Yeah, me too. I'm restraining myself from buying more waffle knit long sleeves in different colors because I have enough clothes. I have enough clothes. I am like almost never nude. You know? Don't get me wrong, let's never mind. I don't need any more clothes. I am warm. I have sweaters. I have shirts. I have sweatpants. I have leggings. I'm good. I don't need to shop anymore. I have a tendency to collect clothes, and it's not my most productive tendency. All right. Let's get on my priest. Emergency backspace on stream. Abort! Abort sentence! Abort sentence! Are you going to be a legend of the multiverse? What does that mean? Do I have a car coat? What if I got driving gloves? I need to sterilize my steering wheel, actually. I kind of want to detail my car. Just because sometimes you would feed the dog treats, and then you'd be like... all I would have was like hand sanitizer before I like drive. Anyway. Legit has a car coat. Everywhere I go, I seem to come back with a t-shirt or a hoodie. My favorite, and I haven't gone there in probably half a year, which is good, because I can't go there without coming out with something, but I love going to the vintage shop downtown. There's a few of them, but there's one in particular that I really like that I've gotten a few of my favorite shirts from. And I just love going because it's so fun to look through all of the vintage shirts, and then you see one that just like speaks to you, and then you're like, well, this is the only one like it. I could take it home with me. Plus it's secondhand clothing, which makes me feel 8% better. It's up marked secondhand clothing, but you know, I've made my peace with that. What am I doing? I'm getting into Holy Spec. I'm inviting my friend. Do y'all know how to do hard mode Headless Horseman? There was something about a prerequisite quest line, but I haven't sorted that out yet. Flabby. Weekly holidays quests? Time walking? Oh yeah. I just wanted to see if there's anything I should pick up before I do the Headless Horseman, but not that I can see. Loot-filled pumpkin. Ta-da! Headless Horseman fight has curses added now. Your puppy rocks. Thanks. Oh, Max Rep with Sword Army gives you the Legend of the Multiverse title. Oh, that's a sick title. Yeah, we gotta do that. You know what they don't make anymore? Letter openers. True. I just tear into my letters like a savage. My envelopes become mangled. It's like a beast trying to access food. Select 1 to all 4 curses. Talk to someone inside. Oh. Just hand them to Moose to open. Bright neon yellow pieces. Oh, cool. I have a reflective vest, and I recently got a little light to add on to it. To wear, but I don't bring it driving. I bring it like for walking. If you're walking the dog and it's like dusk or like nighttime, lights and reflectives are nice so that you're not so invisible to cars. You also get a light for the dog's collar so that he's not invisible either. Also easier to see him if you're like, wait, where is he? Because it gets dark at night. Downtown has decent amounts of streetlights and like lighting at night, but if you get out into the neighborhoods, some of them have like not as many streetlights as you want them to, so it can be quite dark. Legend of the Multiverse is not the title that you get. You get Unparalleled. Oh. Well, that's less cool. I'll still do it, but that's less cool. He's got pumpkin breath. I think I want to carve a pumpkin this year. I don't have a pumpkin carving knife. We used to have like tools for this as a kid. There was like a specific knife you would use. And I feel like there was also some kind of a scoop that you would use to scoop out all of the seeds and stuff of the pumpkins. I guess you could just use a spoon. But I bet I could purchase such a thing anywhere near where I could purchase pumpkins. I'm sure there's no lack of retailers wanting to sell me a pumpkin carving knife. Because the only knife I really have is I have a box cutter, which might work. I have a box cutter and I have like a chef's knife. And I guess I have a bread knife, but I can't imagine that would be any help. Tool set cheap to get. They're cheap. But what if I want like a good one? Hey, it's 402. Let's open this. What did I get? I got a magic broom and a sinister squashling. Okay. Because what I would do is I would be like, well, I'll just get a cheap one. And then I'll be like, well, what happens if you spend like $10 more? Then I'll be like, well, what's the best pumpkin carving knife? Who has the finest pumpkin carving knife in all the land? I must check 17 different review sites and watch a YouTube video. Is the rabbit hole that I would end up in. Fish fillet knife? I do. I'm pretty... I would be worried about breaking it or damaging it though, because it's pretty bendy and I use it for like filleting fish. So I like, I would need a different one if I broke it. Just one YouTube video? Mistaken, that was the name of the achievement. Fillet knife, paring knife, apple coring tool, ice cream spoon, all you need. I would argue that you don't... I mean, I guess everybody has their own needs. I don't think I need all those things. I need a fillet knife because I fillet fish. I don't really pare any apples or core them, really. I just, like, slice them off the core, and that works fine. I use a chef knife for almost everything. Although I suppose I don't want to use a chef's knife for carving a pumpkin, so. People with talent carve amazing works of art with a butter knife. I've tried getting the good knives. I suppose, actually, that's a good consideration. I'm not going to make a cool pumpkin. I just kind of want to carve a pumpkin. I'm more interested in, like... you know, scooping out the guts and like smelling the squash and like seeing the flickering candle inside of a hollowed out vegetable. The actual, like, I'm not entering any competitions or anything. Indeed, I'm probably not even going to set it outside. Or if I am, I'm going to like hide it behind some plants on my balcony because I don't actually want to participate in global Halloween. I'm not, I've never handed out candy. And I don't plan to start. But would Moose eat the pumpkin? It's an open question, but signs point to yes. I have a kit that has little saws, works well, was cheap, came with a book and stencils. Oh. Medium knife and a scoop. My knife is like a 10-incher. I have a pretty large knife. Tool I got, normal paring knife, scoop, and a plastic saw to help make the lid. Pumpkin good for dogs and small amounts. Actually, you know what? I've bought canned pumpkin before because I made him cookies. I made Mussy some cookies, and I made them from a dog cookie recipe that was pumpkin based. So I bought pure canned pumpkin without anything else in it to use in that. And then I got another one recently that was on sale for when I need to make his next batch. He likes those. They're good. He doesn't get them super often. And I can't believe how much he likes them when I didn't add any sugar to them. I guess pumpkin must have some sugar on its own, but like there's not a whole lot to them. Amy Yui, thank you for the 8-month resub. Good morning. Good morning. What do I do? What else do I want for Hallow's End? Arfus just says Dragonflight. It doesn't say anything about Hallow's End. I think that must be just a rumor. Unless somebody's got it on a U in their event. What about a second-hand knife to carve the pumpkin? I could do that. I bet you could find somebody rehoming one. Next year, want to start fishing, cooking the fish I catch. Any resources to learn how to clean, prepare it? Google. There's different places that have... I didn't use like one overarching source or anything like that. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos. YouTube is very helpful because you can see what they mean. But just for whatever type of fish you're targeting, look up a couple of videos of like how to clean blank or how to debone blank. It's a pretty similar process for most fish, but there are like old hunting and fishing lodges that like try to start a social media channel, and they'll have YouTubes where they're like, hello, I am Bushman Gus, and I'm gonna show you how to clean a fish. And it's like the best thing ever. I would just watch I would just Google it. It was what I did. And then the other thing is practice. Like, don't get discouraged if you kind of mangle your first fish. You can still get eatable food off of it. You will get better the more that you do it. And having a sharp knife will help a lot, but just please be careful because it can be dangerous. There's spines, it's slippery, there's knives. You're often like cutting kind of parallel to like your hand. So you just need to just be careful and get some practice. I say this like I'm good at it. I'm still a total rookie. I'm sure that an experienced fishmonger could do a much better job than me. What am I doing with my life right now? I want to figure out if I need anything from Hallow's End that I don't already have. I have, according to the pet journal that's in the game at this time, all of the Hallow's End pets. I have the mount, which is currently instant cast for Hallow's End. That's fun. I also already have the Headless Horseman's mount. If I look in the toy box, the search bar sucks. But as far as I can see, I have the Hallow's End toys. Oh, let's look at all the things. Maybe that'll help me. What is my main list? Keybind, options, keybinds. The other thing I did after cleaning and vacuuming really thoroughly and moving, like I moved furniture and I vacuumed behind it and stuff. And then when I was done everything, I moved one of my extra air purifiers in here and I've been running it and it's like so nice in here now. I swear it was dusty before. It was just not a nice room to be in. It feels great now. I'm looking for all the things. My main list button is Control-Shift-A. Holiday. Hallow's End. Well, apparently, I'm missing hats. But I have everything else that's currently listed there. Maybe it'll get updated. There's a new pet. It's a cute ghost doggy. He doesn't... I see him... Is that confirmed that that's from Hallow's End? Has that been, like, documented by anything? I have yet to see it say. There's a new offhand. Do you have allergies? I never thought about getting a purifier for dust. I, to my knowledge, don't have any allergies, but I haven't been tested for allergies since I was a very young child. So I'm sure, like many people, there's some amount of them. It just makes it feel nicer. I originally bought them to help purify wildfire smoke out of the air. And they were good for that too, but I run them otherwise as well because they do pick up a lot of dust. Blizzard has a post on it. It's a Blizzard blue post. Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, let's go look at that then. 15 years. No, more than that. I'm 31 and I was probably under 10 when I got allergy tested. I remember because the doctor said, if you move a muscle, I'll break your back or something to that effect. And I was really afraid of that, so I didn't move a muscle. For some reason, they needed me to stay very still. And it worked. I didn't move. But allergies also change, which is really confusing. I was severely, I've told this before, but I was very allergic to cats when I was a kid. I would get hives. I would break out in hives all over my body if I touched cat dander. There was one incident where I stayed over at a friend's house and I slept in a bunk bed where a cat of theirs had also been sleeping. And I woke up just covered in hives, like insanely itchy. And I must have grown out of that because later on I was able, like I'd pet cats and I would feel it in my hands. And then later on I would pet cats and I wouldn't feel it in my hands. And now I have a cat and I apply the cat directly to my face. I don't go, but I let you know. I give her smooches, kisses all the time. She sleeps on my pillow. There's no problems at all. Plus, it's not just her. I pet and or cuddle with a variety of cats out in the world because I'm weird like that. And it's fine. You just grow out of them sometimes. What was I doing? I was looking at that blue post. Let's see here. WorldOfWarcraft.com. Community. Forums. Blizz Tracker. How long ago did they say? Or was it on the EU forums? Legends says the Legends having cats cures allergy for cats. The regular purple quality loot for the daily queue. Okay. EU is where I saw it. Alright, let's try that. EU forums. World of Warcraft forums. EU forums.blizzard.wow. Blizz Tracker. I'll show you what I'm looking at. Forums, Blue Tracker. Here, let's check the hotfixes post. Let's check this one. That's not it. Ghastly good deal can be yours with the spooky season. Buy stuff. That's not it. I go to Wowhead, look at the blue tracker there. Why would it not be on the integrated blue tracker? They might have taken it down. Because that's good to know if they did take it down. That could mean that it's not available because it's not in the journal. It's not tagged as Hallow's End on the live journal currently, unless they need to hotfix that. Posted 18 minutes ago. Can I see the original? By Blizzard Entertainment. Where is this post? Did they make a news post maybe? News. There we go. 30 minutes ago. Time for Tricky Treats Costumes Return of the Headless Horseman. October 18th, November 1st. New this year. Candy buckets. New achievement. Special hard mode to slightly improve your odds of receiving some sought-after rewards. New rewards. Windborn Velocidrake, Hallow's End Armor. Arfus. And an offhand item. Available from the vendors. Okay, so the offhand is on the vendors. The other two items are from the daily chest, which has a slightly new rewards. It doesn't specifically say. Lucky players. Well, this one says lucky players take on the horseman. This one doesn't say anything. But they've... all together now. Lend a hand. 10 to 60. Head to Volshire. I do need to do that. I need those hats. Chance of receiving 1 of 4 utterly bewitching hats. Total of 21 achievements. Completing the meta gives the title. We've done that. WoW's and Hallow guide here. It's also available around the They've been updating this? No, they haven't updated it yet today. Here, I'll link the post that I read. This is the post if you guys had any further questions and you wanted to read it for yourself. Okay. Lucky players who take down the Headless Horseman have a chance to add him to your collection. And doing the hard mode would improve your odds. It doesn't say anything about whether or not you have a better chance in your first thing of the day. I got a Sinister Squash thing. I'm just going to delete that right now. Let's look at the vendor. Is there a holiday vendor in Veldraken, like there was for Brewfest? If there was, can I find it without losing my mind? Would it be in the same place? Probably not. Only in Stormwind. You have 80% just for cloth. If we turn it to account mode, it's like more like 50. Finding out things by yourself is much more fun. I just want some data to inform my decisions. I want to know if I'm doing it on all my alts. I suppose I could. There's no harm in it. I wouldn't be surprised if it could still drop. It's just a question of whether or not you have a better chance in your first one of the day. I also didn't do the hard mode. Candy bucket. Candy bucket. Should I get the Candy Buckets add-on turned back on? Do I have the Candy Buckets add-on available? Candy Buckets is on. Okay. Is it working? Yes. Yes, it is. Candy Bucket and then another one. Okay. I would like to speak to a vendor. I guess I can just go to Stormwind. This is sarcasm. Oh. There's a comment on the actual pet. Got the pet in the 11th kill a day from the regular epic loot box without any Wickerman's curse. Okay. And people were saying that the curse, you can just turn it on inside the instance. I didn't do that. I don't know if you did, Flabby, on that run that we just did. I think what I'm gonna do... No, haven't finished incubating that thought yet. I want to go poke around at the vendor for a second. Oh, the curse thing is individual. Oh! Candy Bucket is a fine pseudo-swear, I just realized. I suppose so. Click the scarecrow things when you first enter on the left-hand side when you walk in. Okay. Okay. Let's... I want to see about this offhand. Tricky treats. I had a dream about Halloween candy, which is strange. The ultimate bag destroyer. The original bag destroyer. Hallow's End Quest. Oh no, that's for like the spooky crate or something anyway. I also want to work on those hats. I'm being pulled in several directions. I'm gonna start in one spot. My one spot that oh, you know what I should do actually? I should do a time walking dungeon. I know that's not to do with any of this stuff, but if I can do a time walking dungeon while I still have Master of the Timeways up, I can refresh it and I can get another week's credit for Turbulent Timeways without having to do 4 dungeons. Yes, please. Got the Scarlet Key. Stewarth is headed to the monastery. Okay. Talk to the big Wickerman to get all 4 instead of talking to the 4 little ones. Okay. One sec here. I think I'm going to take I'm going to take my break now because it's 10:30, and then when I come back, I'm going to do one really quick time walking, and then I'm going to get back to this Hallow's End stuff, and I'll get to the bottom of it. I would love to do a lot of things today. One sec. Alrighty, okie dokie. Let's do one time walking. It'll be really fast. It'll be really cool. I'll get 1 more week of progress for Master of the Turbulent Timeways, theoretically. And here, let me make sure that Phil has this one. And then we can get back to Hallow's End. I guess while I'm in queue, which theoretically shouldn't take very long, I can make a little list of what I want to do for Hallow's End. I want to check out the vendor for the offhand, and then maybe farm trick-or-treats for that. Plus tricky treats. I want to do the quests for the hats. Hat quests. Bracket all the things, because that's what put me onto that. For the transmogs. And then I want to farm horsemen for Arphis and the Proto-Drake armor. I'm assuming, I know Arphis is definitely from that. If the Proto-Drake armor does not appear on the vendor, then I assume it has to be from the Headless Horseman. But I don't know that for a certainty. I'm just guessing. What makes it really cool? What did I say was really cool? Time walking? Well, because I'm here. Shouldn't take long. Queue pops within 30 seconds. Hat quest? Yeah! They added some amount of expansions ago. Some quests that you go do. I think Legion. There's a couple of hat transmogs. Witches hats. Unlock Old Scarlet Monster with a key you get from the Headless Horseman too. That hopefully I'll get that in the process of farming for Arphis. So that, hopefully I'll get that in the process of farming for Arphis, because it seems like a nice thing to have done so that you could farm that later. I'm assuming you could continue to farm Scarlet Monastery later, as long as you got the key during the event. Anyone's missing the Drainer Rares that drop mask? Got them all in 2 days with War Mode on? Ooh, good tip. I do need one of those still. I need, Nagrand. I need a Nagrand Bloodhoof Bowl. That's what I need. Same type of thing as Old Skullman's? I don't know exactly how you got the Old Skullman's key, but I was under the impression that it wasn't a time event limited thing like this would be. I figure I could always go back and get that key without needing to wait for a holiday, but if I missed a holiday, then I super missed it. For Skullman, or for, yeah, Skullman's. Or Strathholm, or I don't know. There's too many things! My brain can't hold all of them. I have too many thoughts at once, and it's poking brain noodles out of the side of the squishy part. When I went out and took my break, I gave the puppy a big smooch. And he saw me and was like, oh, and I gave him a big kiss in the cheek. Mwah. How many things can your brain hold? Apparently, 1.4. Oh. Enough more than one that I think I can hold more than one thing at a time, but not enough to actually hold two. So you try to hold more than one thing at a time, and then it all starts oozing out the little gaps.
What's your step?
Back in the day before the mod came out, must have lost it. Yeah, I'm gonna, it would be nice if I got the key, but I'm gonna largely say Old Scarlet is a later me problem. I'm gonna kind of not worry about that one today in the process of worrying about everything else. There's too many other things on my plate right now. Music and mop is just wonderful everywhere. I recall my stuff and things for friends because poor memory seems to be a trend for humanity. There was some interesting research indicating that when you know you have an external source to store information in, such as writing it down in a book, programming it into your phone, you're less likely to remember it because your brain kind of knew it wouldn't need to remember it. So the process of having these ways to set reminders and everything like that is causing us to actually hold fewer things in our brains, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's more, you know, more capacity to manage something different, if you like. But that having a poorer memory may be a side effect of technology use, not, you know, empirically confirmed. And also, I'm a streamer, so I just say things. But I thought it was I thought it was a fascinating idea. Are you not using Plater anymore? I am using Plater. These are planar nameplates. He's 100% drop if you do it in hard mode. Ooh, okay. Good, good, good. Oozing out your head is a good prop for your October movies to watch. Yeah, add-ons are no longer able to affect friendly nameplates, so the friendly nameplates are default because no add-on can touch those anymore. And I use friendly nameplates for healing so that I can see where people are if I want to, like, you know, use a sanctity or whatever, although heaven knows I'm not doing a lot of that right now. Wowhead not loading for anyone else? Loads for me. It was loading for me a bit earlier when I had it up on stream, but it may be experiencing some traffic because of Hallow's End. I wouldn't be surprised. It's cool to see people still excited about like new content and new events and new promotions and stuff. There's a narrative that's like always been around that retail is kind of draining, and I think I'm sure it goes through ebbs and flows like anything else. But it's always nice to see like activity, you know, people doing stuff and having fun. Recall percents have gone up and up. Oh, cool. Loaded fairly quickly for me. In the EU. Oh, thanks. Happy farming. All right. So we are now 4 of 5 master the turbulent time ways. So I will probably still do the rest of those time walkings. Sure. Yeah. I will probably do the rest of those time walkings later to get that. Well, actually, will I? Do I really need another Hero Gabbers piece of loot on my main? Like, what's it gonna really do for me? But I'm gonna do hard mode. I'm gonna do the hard mode horseman on Zelixia with Philodin. Is what I'm gonna do. Ghost Doggy Pet so far seems to be a chance from the daily loot pumpkin from doing Headless Horseman. Okay, so I need to get back into healing spec. And you'll have a supposedly higher chance if you activate the hard mode, which I'm going to try doing for the first time right now. So let's invite. And then let's do Healer Q Horseman. And there's going to be scarecrows on the left we can talk to. And I want to talk to the big one to turn it all on. Anything new this year? An offhand, a pet, and a dragon riding saddle. The offhand is on the vendor. The pet is a chance from the daily pumpkin. And the saddle is unconfirmed for me yet. So I talk to the big guy. I accept all of your curses. Additional challenge. Haha. I have no mana. The hard mode is a individual activate. My curses: Embers, Thorns, Shadows, and Delusions. I'm at a level 443 on this healer in this gear. So those are probably the shadows. That's gonna hurt. Cool, okay, so we got an achievement, 2 achievements. Don't Lose Your Head is for defeating any version of the Horseman, which I'd never done in my Evoker. Kickin' with the Wick is for all 4 of the achievements. And then my box gave me nothing on that character. But that's good to know. I'm going to do that in a bunch of actually, not nothing. I got the Scarlet Key. Thank you. GG's. Pandoric, thank you very much for the 24-month resub. What's your main spec going to be for 10.2? Holy Priest. Gnome Holy Priest. With my ponytail. Kind of brilliant. You can opt in individually. Yeah, especially for pub content like this. Thanks for the 2-year resub. Also, Gawina with a 9-month resub. Thank you. Head to the Scarlet Monster, turn in the key, account-wide unlock. Oh, good. Okay. Should I do that before I forget? Just like while I have it. Can put it on the auction supposedly. Yeah, that's what people were saying. Scarlet Monasteries and Tirisfal Glades. Have you ever played WoW at a high level? High level, it depends on what you would quantify as a high level. I would say yeah, but not like world first levels. And not for the whole duration of my WoW life. I am a heroic raider, which is not mythic raiding, but we clear heroic. And then in PvP, I have, at one point in my life, for one glorious season in 2016, I was pretty good. I was a 2400 player for about 30 seconds before the pressure got to me and I gave up. I have never in my life ever mythic raided. I've never felt the need to. It's never appealed to me, so I've never ever stepped foot. I think the most, like, we did like, back in WoD, I think we did like the first boss of Heimal on Mythic or something. We did like Mythic Kargath. But I, generally speaking, have no Mythic progress at all. I think that my PvP skill, percentage-wise, was better than my PvE skill. But only for that one moment in time when I was really trying very, very hard and practicing all the time, and I was doing VOD review, and I was getting coaching from my friends, kind of, sort of, and I was practicing. I was in it. Would you please send me to Stratholme, actually? And that was a long time ago. Impatient Lola, thank you for the 6-month resub. Happy half a year. Level 70 is the highest possible level, so 40 plus is high level. True. Am I high level in hardcore? I'm level 30... What do we get? 38? 37? 38? On my Warlock? She's still resting in the inn. She's accumulating her rested for her push to 39. Fish looks great swimming through those mushrooms. I love this mount. That's one of my favorite, like, sort of shop/promo mounts that they've ever added. Oh, there's an invisible wall right there. Trying to go too far. But nowadays I take it pretty easy. I do need to do some shuffle. What is my, if I was looking... We're 41%, so I have 59% left of my bar to get for my Vicious mount, my Vicious War Snail. And we have some amount of weeks to do it. What, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that? Coaching from friends missed the good old times. Oh dear. I never responded very well whenever people would get heated in terms of PvP or communicating with teammates. I will shut right down if anybody gets fired up. But I was lucky to have some really patient friends that were there to have fun. And we had a great time kind of like playing together and learning together. Except, I mean, Flabby knew everything, but... I had some other people I would play with that were a little closer to my experience level. And it was a lot of fun. 59 shuffles at a 50% win rate. 59%, but winning a shuffle gets you 3%. Winning a shuffle gets you 3%. And if you go 3 and 3 in a shuffle, that counts as a win and gives you that 3%. You have to do 2 and 4 or worse in order to not get progress from a shuffle. But those shuffle rounds take longer than a standard arena queue. It would still be faster, I think, to smash it out in 3s. The move would probably be for me to rope in Flabby, pug 3rds, and just spam queue 3s at like 1600 or whatever. And that would be way faster. Well, not way faster, but it would be faster. But I've done this much in solo shuffle. I would like to do the rest of it in solo shuffle because it's... this must be it. Okay, so I can use that old keyring now to access Old Scarlet on my account. Neat. Alright, can I go to Stormwind? I want to go to Stormwind. I guess I can go to Stormwind on my priest. Couple CE people in our Mythic raid team aren't conducive to a good raid environment. Sometimes people end up with egos that make them difficult to get along with. Sometimes they don't. There are plenty of people that are really good at this game that are perfectly, you know, fun, relaxed people, you know, not taking themselves or anything else too seriously, that are just kind of enjoyable to play with. I would hate to paint all cutting edge players with the same brush. Lots of them are great. And even people that are like that are sometimes it's just like a mismatched expectations kind of situation. But I find it so funny when people get like a really big head because of a game. I mean, because of anything really. I have a hard time taking big ego seriously. I don't really care what you've done. We're all people. But whenever it's because of a game, oh, and people walk in like they're like expecting other people to treat them like they're hot stuff is just so funny to me. It's not like a problem. I just cannot take it seriously. And that's fine. I don't have to. What am I doing? I was going to Stormwind. That's right. I want to look at the vendor. I want to see how much that offhand costs. I don't want to paint any CE raiders with any brush. It seems rude and messy. I avoid PvP because of the people. Also group PvE. Also people. People are unpredictable, which makes them frightening. But so's everything else. There's not a whole lot of things in life you can genuinely control. What am I looking for? The vendor. Also afraid of PvP due to people. When I'm playing with randoms, them getting upset doesn't get to me quite as much because I don't know them, so their opinion doesn't really hold any weight with me. Also, I have set up, and that's one part, which makes me sound super like well-balanced and cool. But the truth is, I have my game set up in a way that I don't get whispers from strangers. I have an add-on that completely filters out whispers from anybody that's not in my guild or party or friends list. And I don't even know if I get whispers from people like within a solo shuffle round if they were going to do that. Plus, whenever I'm in shuffle, I tab out of chat. I'm not even reading party chat. Most of the times where you would be in a situation where it is, if people are raging, it doesn't even cross the eyeballs. So it's a lot easier to be chill about it when you don't see it. I think I realized that reading that content was causing me a lot more angst than joy, and it wasn't really a net positive for my life. Plus, it wasn't really necessary to coordinate in the games. Half the time when people call targets in solo shuffle, they change their minds anyways. Like, they're not consistent about it. It's better to kind of play off of what they're doing rather than what they said they were going to do. So you just tab out of chat. But if I'm in like a voice call with people that I got into a group with and I respect their opinion because I know that they know what they're doing and they flame me and call me trash, that's going to make me cry myself to sleep at night. That hurts because I know they're right. Like, that's the thing that really gets to you when someone's insulting you, is if they hit on something that's like an insecurity or a belief that you also had or were worried about. Those are the ones that stick with you for years. I haven't done a lot of that kind of thing. Also, my friends are nice now. Look for Thomas Thompson. I think that anybody that was really worked up about a game to get, like, heated about mistakes is not somebody I would continue to hang out with for a very long time, just because it's not really the right style for me. It's just not really my vibe. I'm at an age where I just want to have fun when I'm playing games. Okay, 150 tricky treats for the bucket of morbid treats offhand. You betcha. Okay. So that's fine. I want to do more horsemen. I want to go through on some other characters that have less gear and see what the experience is like doing that daily healer queue with all four curses. I want to take a look at that. 150 is the answer for how many that costs. 150. Should I do a video this year? I haven't done a holiday update video in forever. That seems like a fun idea. And then the hack quests. Okay. Yeah, 150 sounds fast. Allison. Allison can... Oh, I love her. Every time I click into this character, I just feel... I feel cool. Video sounds like work. I know, right? Scary. Aaron Knights, thank you for the 21-month resub. Good afternoon, Hazel and chat. Happy Hallow's End. Happy Hallow's End. It's toasty in here. Isn't... Oh, no, you're totally right. It doesn't... Cash, I totally agree with you. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. However, a lot of our emotions, or at least my emotions, are not predicated on logic. Thus the emotions. A lot of things that you'll feel about don't necessarily check out or make sense. And sometimes you'll have a feeling, you won't know why you had that feeling. In trying to figure out, you'll come up with a story or something to assign that feeling to that may or may not have been where it actually came from, because they're tricky and ugly to sort through. And just knowing that, and that's one thing is that I've had to learn, is that sometimes I would feel very strong emotions, very overwhelming emotions, and I would be so angry at feeling that way, or so upset or frustrated to feel that way, because I was like, well, this doesn't even make sense. I'm upset about something so stupid that it doesn't make sense. So I was upset at myself for being upset because it didn't make any sense. And I've come to realize that that's not the healthiest pattern for me, and it's not very productive or accomplishing anything. I think a much better thing to do for me is to just feel the feeling, not worry so much about whether or not I deserve to feel the feeling, but just feel the feeling, figure out if there's anything I need to do to fix a situation or whatever, and just kind of have some grace for yourself. Just don't, you know, like, it's okay to feel all sorts of things, and it's okay to feel them for all sorts of reasons. What's not okay is to make your feelings everybody else's problem. And that's a hard thing that a lot of people work on, that I work on too. But just having the feeling in itself is not a crime, and it's not anything to be shamed over. What am I doing? I am selling Dracothist. I'm on Allison. Ooh, do I have any Dracothist cooldowns up? Have I restocked this yet? 7 of 10. I'll wait until that's 10 out of 10. What else am I doing? I'm queuing for Horseman. Headless Horseman. Healer queue. Find a group. And then let's get... Whoa. Let's get into healer spec. I should have done that first. Very little chance Hazel sees anything on Twitter. I have Twitter pretty much giga-blocked. Firstly, because I was wasting too much time on there a couple years ago, and then recently because it just kind of made me feel bad, and then lately because I don't know what's going on with that platform, but it doesn't sound like anything good. So... I'm not off Twitter necessarily. One of the problems is that sometimes I don't do a whole lot of sponsorships or collaborations, but whenever I have, often one of the asks is they'll say, hey, can you please tweet about this? And it's part of the package. And you can't do that if you're not on Twitter. And sometimes they're like, well, just post on it wherever you post in social media. And if I don't post anywhere in social media, that's awkward. So I keep it basically just in case. I haven't looked at it in ages. English, heart. Alright, I got my 4 curses. I've got my, well, half of my mana back. I'm gonna be extra and I'm gonna pop a file. Mostly because, like, look how cool she looks. She's cold. She's chilly. My keybinds are all over the place. I'm spec'd into Selva. Why? For what? I guess I'll use it. You sort of kind of almost post on Insta. Sometimes I think about posting on Instagram. Sometimes I think about posting just, like, anything. Just because I figure if my flat amount of posting is nothing, then short of, like, you know, posting something insensitive, which I'd hope I wouldn't do, there's not like a downside, even if like your posts are stupid, it's just social media, right? Like, So sometimes I have like a really dumb idea for a post and I'm like, oh, you should do that. And then I'm like, no, it's stupid. And then I don't do it. And I keep thinking you should just like throw it up there because like what's the worst thing that can happen? And I think the worst thing that can happen is that there's like some kind of a social movement happening on Instagram or Twitter or wherever. And like everybody's like picking sides and drawing lines and having this big like moral and ethical battle. And I don't see any of that because I'm not reading it. And I'm like, look at me dancing with my puppy dog. And then people are like, Hazel, read the room. And it's true that I didn't read the room. Because sometimes things that are appropriate to post are not appropriate to post whenever there's stuff going on. But you won't know that there's something going on if you're not actually like actively keeping up with it. Which is a pretty big emotional burden, so I don't know. Pitch us your last, I should post this idea. Oh, I was boogieing and I was like, I was boogieing. And I was like, you know what the kids do is they boogie on TikTok. I wonder if anybody else boogies like I boogie. I look like I don't dance. It's not true. I do dance. I'm just redefining dancing. Zoldak, thank you for the 24-month. Happy 2 years. But I wonder, I think that the reason I enjoy dancing so much is because nobody is watching. Or nobody outside of my partner, my cat, my dog, and anybody that might be outside the window. But, here, this is a good spot for Selva. But if I knew I was going to post it, I might not have as much fun, and that would defeat the whole purpose of it. Good old window theater, yeah. Word on the street is that Scarlet Monastery account wide is unlock is account wide. I haven't personally verified yet. It's all very new. That was what the kids were saying though. And by the kids I mean the qualified adults that populate my stream. We're all kids, right? This is a birthday party. I thought about how much fun it would be to have a birthday party where you do it genuinely like you know, you get like hats and you get like goodie bags for your guests and you get like some party games and you get like some, I don't know, Cheetos and pizza or whatever it is. Just have a birthday party like it's 2005. 2002. Thank you very much. Open sesame. No luck there. Okay. You could check right now in this character. I could. I don't know how to do it though. All I did was turn in the keys. I guess I would be checking to see if the keys were there, right? That's what the check would be. Just saw someone with Arfus. Love your new hair color. Why, thank you. I think in one more week it'll be long enough for me to trim it down and re-dye it. I think I'll do that on my next days off. I was walking my dog and I met a young girl and her family and they were saying hi to the dog. And just when I was leaving, the girl, she looked like she was having a hard time trying to say something because she might have been a bit shy, which I totally feel. And then she said, "I really like your pink hair." And I said, "Thank you very much." And then we left. And I thought, that's the nicest child in the whole country. It's my favorite one. Sorry, nephew. It was so cute. Oh, I have been told that the new broom from the trading post is instant cast. Indeed it is. Eve's Ghastly Rider. You ready for this? Are you ready? Ta-da! Nephew can't speak yet. Yeah, it's not exactly. They're not competing, but if they were, it wouldn't be fair. Sold a Scarlet Key for 50k. Nice. I've just started in the topic of having contact with strangers. I meet people all the time out with the dog, but even when someone's just like on the other side of the road and they're walking a dog, I've started just like smiling and nodding at any other dog people I see because I've decided we're all part of the same tribe. And I'm going to acknowledge it with a quick smile and a nod to let them know that I like their dog. What's a scarlet key? It comes from doing the 4 curse version of the Headless Horseman. It seems to be a guaranteed drop with 4 curses. I don't know if you can get it with fewer. And it unlocks an old version of Scarlet Monastery that presumably drops some previously unavailable old appearances. Cash, yes, and we are not going to say another word on that topic because I don't trust people to have a reasonable conversation. Ooh. Excellent strategy. Brunette, very on theme for this priest. She looks a bit bored. Maybe she's just thinking. Enjoying the fall air. She could be dragon riding. She's just commuting. Well, not right now. She couldn't be. Oh. Birdie. Exactly. Oh, you've lost me. Just some broom riding. Oh! Do I get it? I think I get it. I caught up. Let the dog into the bedroom with the kitty cat last night right before bed for some more supervised exposure. And he did good, but he did steal both of my socks. I decided I wasn't even going to fight that battle. I was pleased that he was just behaving calmly and not antagonizing the cat or eating earplugs. So he took my sock and took it back to the bed. And I'm like, well, at least he's figured out where his bed is. And then he went and collected the other sock and then took that back to the bed and then kind of laid down like, huh, now what? All right, keyring is in fact account-wide once you turned it in. You do one in your account and it seems that the rest of them get it. It also seems that it doesn't drop again. I wonder if you wanted to sell them, if you sold one and did it again, if you would get another one for yourself. Interesting question. Kira still thinks he stinks, I assume. Her general attitude seems to be, that's fine as long as it doesn't touch me. She's not worried, she's not concerned unless she thinks that he might contact her, which is fair and reasonable because he's a big boy. Not quite done with time rifts. No, I need some more things. I have all the pets from them now, which is exciting, but I need some more, need more goodies from time rifts. Shall we try to heal a 4 curse version on a character with functionally no gear? What's the worst thing that can happen? Got an additional one from the dungeon. Okay. I am not going to BlizzCon in person this year, no. I'm going to watch from home. Item level 381 with a Discerning Eye of the Beast trinket. Go for it. Sure. Found a download. Played through them for fun. The Clue Finders games. A few games in, realized it was Hazel. If Joni grew up, shaved the hair, got really into WoW, it's Hazel. Hang on, I gotta Google this now. Joni Clue Finder. Wait a minute. Joni Savage Clue Finders Wiki. Born in 87, main protagonist of the Clue Finders series and the founder of the Clue Finders Club. She has the title of team lead. Personality and character traits. Headstrong tomboy. Adventurous, courageous, confident. Prone to recklessness and rash decisions. Oh yeah. All right. Am I happy with my spec? Yeah, sure. Let's just make sure we have Apotheosis keybound somewhere would be good. And then we'll We'll jump in. I have had all the timer stuff for a while. Hurts the motivation to just do it for the rep. You can do the horseman at 10 plus, but word on the street says 60 plus for the epic loot bag. She would absolutely be into fishing. Dogs can be a good conversation starter. Met people through walking my dog. Yeah, I found that same thing. I had never spoken more than 2 words to anybody in this neighborhood before I got a puppy, and I've met a lot of people since I have the puppy. And you know them now too. You're like, hey, it's so-and-so and they live there and they have this dog, and it's so-and-so and they live there and they have this dog, and they told me about this person who lives here with this dog, and it's a very dog popular, it's a popular area for dogs. There's a lot of dogs that live here, and you'll see people on the street and you'll meet them at the dog park, and you can get say hi, and it's wonderful. Moosey gets along really well with pretty much everybody, which is a big relief. Did I knock you up? I meant to. I think we might eventually get to a point when Moose is no longer a puppy, where we'll still probably say hi to people that we already know, and anybody else that wants to. But I think that he probably attracts more attention because he's a baby and he's cute. He's still going to be a cute grown-up, but he might be a more intimidating looking dog when he's fully grown, because he looks very much like a German Shepherd, and he's going to be probably a good size of dog. It's shaping up anyway. Any of these strangers become friends? Like having them over kind of thing? No. But like, you know, stop and say hi if you see them outside sort of thing. Yeah. Yeah, talks on the street, nods across the road, which is a really, really big deal for me. It's hard to get across just how antisocial I have been. Because, you know, obviously I talk to you guys. But in the past I have not been very social or had a very comfortable time meeting people. And it gets better and worse at different parts of my life, kind of depending on what I've been naturally doing. But the last couple of years of COVID, and then just kind of another dramatic relocation, plus working from home and working alone from home, so I'm not meeting anybody through work. I changed countries back to this country, so I didn't know anybody. I lost a couple friends in the divorce, which is, I think, how it typically goes. And also, they would have been in the States anyways. And, yeah, not the most conducive conditions to just, like, meeting peers and making friends. A lot of the touch points that people tend to make connections through are missing for me just because of how my life happens to be, which I think has made it a bit worse. Which is fine. I'm not looking for solutions right now. Hey, we did it. Any luck? What do we get? Just the achievement. No luck. But if I can do it on a 381, then I think I can do it on basically anybody. Although I might be better on Proof than I am on other healers. We'll have to see. Trust me better alone with less friends? I don't know if that's the case. I think there's some research to indicate that people do well with long-standing social connections. Mick Reavers, thank you for the 4-month resub. Hi Hazel, hope you're well. Hello, I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. Would you be intimidated if you've met your viewers? I've met audience in the past at conventions. I don't know if intimidated is the right word. I always went through BlizzCons in a state of kind of continual shock and coping. It was, you kind of black out for it was so overstimulating that it would just kind of fry everything for a couple of days. So I would meet a lot of people. You would kind of get used to the script of meeting people. You would kind of get the hang of like the normal things to say and the normal things to do because you've done it like 500, well not 500, but like hundreds of times within a couple of days. So I don't know if intimidated is the right word. It might be. I have met viewers before, not in a long time. I think it's been years since I've met anybody in person. All right, now this character has some item level, so she should be fine. She should be all good to crank this out. I'm just glad that so many of my characters can heal. It might be yours still. It might be. I don't have any plans to do any events at this time. Who is to say? I like this. I like this. We can hang out on a regular schedule. You guys can opt in or opt out to, you know, whatever works for your time. You can be as interactive or as passive as you like. There's no pressure. You know, nobody's sharing any viruses. I'm not infecting anybody. No one's infecting me. We're all able to like play WoW and be at our desks. It's nice. It works out. I'm just not ready to travel and do big events like that yet. I don't think that's gonna sell. You are healthy again, right? Yes. Yes, I feel dramatically recovered. I was fine in time for Thanksgiving. I am much better, thank you. As is my partner. We both got it. Whatever it was. I wanted to go to BlizzCon with my hairless cat. The wife said no. Would you take your pup if you could? No. I would not. I'm sure, I don't think conventions are really a place for pets. If you have a pet that is well socialized to big crowds, but even then you've got a big crowd of people that may react in, I forgot, may react in varying ways to, I don't know if it's too late or not. Animals, there might be people that have allergies, there might be people that have phobias. Obviously with a hairless cat, that's one thing, but I think that it's just not the right setting for a pet, in my personal opinion. There may also be policies about it, and I'm sure service animals are one thing, but I would not want to be... I have a hard enough time at a convention worrying about my own schedule and needs and welfare. And anxiety levels. I think trying to manage those of an animal on top of myself would be way too much. How do you farm Dragon Expedition Rep? Do you have to dig the dirt piles? Yeah. There's also weekly quests you can do. You can do world quests with them. But yeah, dirt piles is your main spammable form of Dragon Scale Expedition Rep. Avoid the quest where they send you to bomb Undercity. It keeps DCing you. Okay. Oh yeah, you can get a contract to get extra rep when you do world quest with them. That's right. Yeah, I don't know what the rules would be for BlizzCon, but I would assume it's a service animals only kind of situation. Cash, you're on real thin ice. I would drop that if you value your future chatting here. Okay. No luck with that. The curses did still kick in. I don't know if they kicked in time, but... Alright. Who else do we have? I may have to start doing DPS queues at a certain point, which is going to mean that I will need something to multitask with. You think Barnacles can heal it? How should I go about dealing with someone beating me and gloating about it when they beat me at games? If it was me, and I was being my chronically non-confrontational self, I would just either not play with them, or if it was unavoidable to stop playing with them, I would not listen to them quite so much. I might tell them once that I didn't really appreciate that kind of communication style for whatever reasons. I might not, especially depending on who it is and what the situation is. If that's how somebody functions, maybe it's fun for them with other people. If it's not a good fit for you, I wouldn't engage with it too much. Always more of a them thing than a you thing. What is Hazel trying to get from the horseman? Arthas and the new dragon riding armor. Shall we put up a Karokta group just while we're here? Start a group, or maybe find a group if anyone's looking for one. Karokta? Follow-up question about person beating gloating with me. What if it's my daughter? I see. There might be some parenting involved then, which is outside of my purview. I think one of the reasons why I don't have children is because I would stress so much about everything to do with how to parent somebody. And whenever there's a question of like a hard thing about like, how do you manage their screen time? How do you make sure that they're not getting bullied on social media? What happens if you find out they're vaping? Like, I have no answers for any of the parenting problems, and all I can think is, wow, I'm glad that it's not my problem because I don't know how you do it. It looks hard. That's not encouraging or helpful, but that's where I'm at. Hook, line, and sinker, as they say. 10 horsemen, no pets, no mount, no dragon, nothing. Another 1 per day per account chance. Did they say so? Can always turn someone's volume down to 0% on Discord. No, my nephew's not vaping. I watched the vape documentary on Netflix. I had varying feelings about it. But one of them was that, wow, I'm glad I'm not a parent because that looks rough. What spec am I currently? I am no spec. I am a resto with like no buttons. That's not helpful for anybody. To be honest, a lot of it you don't know till it happens. Yeah. Yeah, I'm at an age where I'm still trying to parent myself. I am still trying to help myself grow into a well-balanced and functional individual. I'm 30, I'm 31. I think, plus I think the extra pressure of trying to balance letting them live versus keeping them safe from trauma would just destroy me. Okay. You do grow with the challenges, so I'm told. Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of respect for parents that do it. I would love to believe that if I became a parent, it would go okay with my best efforts because, you know, it works out in the end. But I also know an incredible amount of people that, because of various things happening in their childhood, that were either partly the fault of the parents or not at all the fault of the parents or completely the fault of the parents, whatever, just requires like years and years and years of work to fix, if they're ever fixed at all, that can like really do things to people. And just because you hope for the best doesn't always mean that it's going to work out. Or that it's, I don't know. The whole thing just seems so fraught with pressure. I'm barely able to make choices. I mean, I do make them, but like, I had some anxiety just coping with the responsibility of having a puppy. And wanting to do right by him and wanting to make the best choices I can for him. And that's hard. That's a lot of pressure. It's not even a human child. I can't imagine when you've got like the whole world looking at you for that. My bars are all backwards and it's upsetting. Great pup mom. I do my best. I don't think I'm perfect. I think it would be very hard to be perfect. But I feel like the best thing you can do is A, your best, but then secondly, watch everything that's happening, like just observe as much as you can and keep an eye on what's going on. And be open to changing your tack with something if what you tried first isn't working. Don't be too attached to your first answer to something if you are seeing that it's not the right fit for your dog for whatever reason. Like if, like don't get too, I don't know, don't get too inflexible or too committed to a specific way of doing things, because sometimes you do need to shake it up. And you just gotta listen to your dog and your life and how it's going. Thanks, guys. Alright, what I've discovered is that Barnacles can heal, but he's going to need a edit mode profile. Okay, that's better. That's much better. I mean, I don't know what's up with this starter build, but like, it's fine. If I'm still in queue, I don't mean to be. What am I doing? Horseman. Yeah, he was tanking before. I'm healing now. Oh, thanks you guys. You're sweet. It feels like it must be difficult with children to not, like, repeat the same patterns that you were parented with, even if you've identified that some of those patterns weren't a good fit for you. Or to not overcompensate in the opposite direction. I think that would be a tough thing to contend with. I enjoy you pretending to read these talents and considering options. Yeah, I pretty quickly realized, oh, I've forgotten curses again. I'm just going to do it without it this time. I think Barnacles would get bladdered. That's a new word. You heard it here first. It's a cross between blasted and battered with the curses. We're just going to do a normal one for this one. Thanks for the Crocodile kill. I'll choose. Having a puppy first has helped break some of the habits from my parents. 28, still feel like a kid. Can't even imagine having a kid. I have a ton of respect for the people that are like motivated and, you know, bringing up the next generation. It's a lot. Hats off. Run out of tanks to queue for the horseman. Redirection just as useful for kids as it was for my dog. Think I could get away with healing on an alt if I just spam regrowth? And there's one way to find out. On my next character, I'm going to remember to activate the curses. I thought you said bladdered, like relating to a bladder. You can also interpret it as that. I have grandkids now. Grandkids, I'm sure it's not universal, but in every instance I've ever known, seem to bring so much joy to their grandparents. My mom is so happy to be a grandmother. It's the cutest thing on the entire planet. Her and my nephew are so precious. Intrusive thought of training your kid with a clicker. Do you want chat to help with remembering? Honestly, I don't see it in time. I don't see it in time. It's like when I mouse over a rare in Rare Scanner, and I've already like noticed the different name, and I've seen it, and then Rare Scanner is like, "Did you know that's a rare?" And I'm like, "Yes, thank you." Headless Horseman. Ta-da! Dad is so freaking cute with my daughter. I might. We're so lucky to have family that all lives within a small enough area where both sets of grandparents can be not only present in my nephew's life, but like, you know, contributing like significant amounts of childcare is something that I think is rare and difficult to find in Western society, especially when you have families that are like very spread out and people move very far away. It's nice that we have so many people so close that can all kind of like, you know, watch my nephew and hang out and come visit and do stuff and Mom was weird about it. Hinted at wanting grandkids. Would refuse to be called grandma by my paternal brother's kids because she was too young to be grandma. I didn't know this was a thing that happened because I was too young to remember it when it was with me. But when my nephew was born, it was the first kid on this side of the family. I think actually for both sides of the family. Actually, I don't know that. I don't know if he has any cousins on his other side. I should ask. But I think he was like the first one. So all the grandparents were like picking their grandparent name. And there was like discussion and crosstalk about like figuring out how they could all have different ones so that it wasn't like, you know, grandma blank and grandma blank. Using different words for different grandparents so that, you know, you would have like a granny or like a nana or like a oma or whatever. Different versions of it for different people. But I guess it had never occurred to me that as a grandparent you can choose your grandparent title. I just thought it was just like an automatic thing that happened, and maybe for some people it is. But my family definitely like opted in. They all like figured it out. I'm called Papa. Ooh, I'm gonna get hit by that. It's really sweet. Doing it on a harder mode supposedly gives you a better chance to get the goods from the chest. There's also an achievement you get, and the guaranteed Scarlet Key for unlocking the old Scarlet Monastery. You know Oma? I know Oma. I had friends that had a Mima. I thought that was a cute one. What if you became a grandparent and you decided that you were going to be extra and annoying and obnoxious, and instead of like saying, oh, I'm going to be Grandma Hazel or, you know, Mima Hazel, I was just like, to my grandkids, I am Cher. Call me Madonna, you know. Also, I am unlikely to have grandkids at this point because I think you have to have children first. You can have grandnieces and grandnephews. My language has built-in grandparent titles. Mom, 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 dad, dad, mom, dad, dad. Oh, that's cool. That's much more descriptive than the chaos that my family and people I know have done. My dad is called G-Daddy. He chose it himself. G-Daddy. Am I gonna die? Maybe. This character is at level 383. It's pretty good, honestly. She doesn't really know what's going on. I didn't even turn the curses on! I thought I had not. Oh dear. Oh dear. That's funny. This person has at least one curse. Southern US had a Mima. What if this one just grants it, you know? It's still a chance. No luck there. If I got a Horseman's Ring on one of these characters, I could actually use it. Alright. You lose the curses if you almost die, I've discovered. Oh, you lose it after hitting like 10 stacks. How do I prevent that? I think my early characters have a better chance at it. Dodging and stuff. Ah. That pesky playing the game properly. Look at her. She stares straight into the sun. Oh. Well, oh, it's 11:39 already. Starting to think that maybe I get that offhand tomorrow? Maybe? Sound true? Sound reasonable? Crinkle is a Fury Warrior. Crinkle has nothing to tank with. I'm logging off of Crinkle. I'm gonna send her back home and log off. Because I would need a faster queue anyway, so let me see if I have any other healers. What is this DPS queue? Fury Warrior could likely tank. Yeah, probably. Hunter, Hunter, Shaman. Warlock, Rogue, Demon Hunter, Paladin. I don't know if I want to tank it. Let's see if Honeyplum can heal it. Enrage, Regen, and play. Pray. Maybe this isn't such a good idea. I mean, I can do it without the curses, I'm sure. Is it better to have a 385 weapon with no primary on it? Or a heirloom staff? Heirloom staff comes out at 329, but it's a two-hander. Try that. Kitty's still in here? Yeah, she's sleeping on the chair. I was quite happy to find that I have an upholstery attachment for my vacuum that can... Oh, here goes nothing. I have an upholstery attachment for my vacuum that can clean the cushion on that chair quite well, because it had a fair amount of like just dust and cat hair on it, and it looks great now. It's a little torn up, but what isn't? My things are a little bit distressed. Hazel, hi! How are you? I don't have the first clue of what to do on a Resto Shaman. What does this button do? That's chain heal. Oh, that seems cool. Where's healing ring? There it is. I don't think I've ever noticed that mechanic before. I must have just been not doing it previously. I could press Ascendance, but I don't know what it'll do. Let's do it. I'm tall. Presumably it makes me better at stuff. what's this one? Primordial Wave. Didn't do anything too noticeable. What's that do? That summons a pet. What's that do? Ancestral Guidance. Sure. What does that do? Damage? Oh. Yeah. It's like Nature's Vigil. Healing Tide Totem. That's useful. There you go. Oh, I found Spirit Link. We did it! Woo! Going blind shaman healing. Anxious. Surgery tomorrow. Best wishes with you. Ascendants increase your healing. Well, she got a ring. She can actually use that. She has a 329 and a 347. My box contained nothing much. But I tried so hard. It's kind of fun to explore your spells in the middle of an emergency. What's that button do? Well, I don't know. Let's find out. Here we go. They got him a little upgrade. Fantastic. Halloween saddle seems to be a chance from the loot pumpkin, supposedly. Hey, should we tank it? Should we have Night Flame do things? Not again. Yeah. There's also a pet, Arphis, the Lit King. All right. Am I in tank spec? Yes. Do I know what any of these things do? Not wildly. Does it matter? We'll find out. Oh, what's that in his face? Oh, he's got a mask because he's a demon hunter. His name is Night Flame. Keep EQ. Immolation Aura. 12-second cooldown, 7.5-second duration. Okay. You only need to know taunt and damage reduction. I don't know if I know any of those things. I know, there's a lot of blue and green buttons on here, and those are really nice colors. Love me some blue and green. I don't even have darkness. Taunt his big red angry face. Yeah, it's on my 4 key. Huge halfway there. Alright. How come Harold Flaps keeps talking to my alts? I've literally finished Whelp Daycare on my main. Also, I should check Whelp Daycare to see if there's anything I need. Although I should look into ending the stream pretty soon because it's 11:48. And I have an appointment to go cuddle my puppy dog. So stoked they added the old Scarlet Monastery unlock. Put Glide on the bar. This is my getting hyped to tank. You gotta turn it up. If you ever need a song to put on to take you back in time, to put you in the birthday party move, I recommend Axel F by Crazy Frog. That will send you right back. I think that's what made me want to have an old-fashioned kid's birthday party. Yeah, new battle pet can drop from the Horseman Pumpkin, it seems. Okay. I accept all your curses, because why not? What can possibly go wrong? Give everybody a second to catch up here. Birthdays this week. I'm making a playlist for my party today. I will definitely add that song. Excellent. I hope it's not the first time you've ever heard it, because... No, it's perfect. Do I have aggro? I don't know. My threat plates aren't on. You ever play Smash Brothers and you realize you don't actually know how to play it? But everybody else seems to be pressing their buttons as hard and fast as they can, so you decide to do that too, and then it kind of starts working? That's kind of how I feel. Let's go! I turned on Shadow Sight! I can see everything! Beautiful, perfect. 10 out of 10, no notes. Anything? No, okay. Hey, we did it! And I got a ring. He probably needs that. Yeah, he does. That's funny. I enjoyed that. Learning which buttons to press is also an option. It is. It doesn't sound as appealing to me, though. That doesn't sound like nearly as much fun. Ah, look at that. 4 item levels just from one ring. Beautiful. Alright. Hi. I'm all done. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, to do something. Probably retail, because I have more things I'd like to do, but I'm quite pleased with today. We got the Ohuna Companion. We learned a little bit about Hallow's End. I got to catch up with my favorite stream. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.